After struggling for the last 4 years with hurricanes, saltwater intrusion, and low prices, Louisiana rice growers may finally have a crop year they can call their own. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Tobie Blanchard shows us, rice farmers are finding that both price and yields this year are up.
The rice harvest was off to a record start.
The first week of harvest, we saw yields we'd never imagined for Louisiana. I mean, really very high yields. In the neighborhood of 60 barrels were not uncommon.
Louisiana farmers typically get around 40 barrels per acre. Yields began dropping off as farmers got into later planted fields, particularly fields with plants that flowered during the hot, dry weather of June. But now that farmers are later into the harvest season, Sachuk says he is hearing reports of yields picking up and expects that this year could be one of the best for rice farmers.
Certainly we're overdue for it, 2 hurricanes last year, and then go back and get 2 more hurricanes, a couple of years before that. And a lot of these guys were on their heels, so they need a good year to give them a chance to catch up and pay some bills.
Barrett Olivier farms 1,500 acres of rice in St. Landry Parish and lost some of his crop last year to Hurricane Gustav, but says things are shaping up better this year, from good yields to lower production cost.
They're down a good bit this year. Now they're still very high. But with yields like this, we can overcome that.
Yields appeared good in all varieties. Sachuk estimates that 60 to 70% of acres were planted into clearfield varieties, which allow farmers to use herbicides on their crop. Long grain varieties dominate Louisiana's rice fields, but farmers planted more medium grain varieties this year than in recent years.
This year, because of some premiums offered by Kellogg's and the ability of some farmers to contract before they even planted the rice last spring, we saw an increase in our medium grain acreage.
Sachuk is concerned about the second crop of rice, which some farmers in South Louisiana grow. It makes up about 20% of the state's acres, and he says it's been growing back slowly. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, this is Tobie Blanchard with the LSU Ag Center.
Louisiana has some 460,000 acres of rice in production this year. For more information about rice production here and across the country, you can click on over to our website, twilatv.org, and we'll link you to the USA Rice Federation's website.